And we were at the unveiling of the new Windows Phone 7 handsets that run Microsoft's Windows Phone 7 operating system recently. John Barrow, you were there with me. What were your first impressions of the handsets, and what were the key differences?
Well, you say differences, Ben, but I think my first impression was how very similar they were, and that's obviously Microsoft has set minimum specifications.
Yeah, so those minimum specs, they were sort of 5 megapixel camera, 8 gigs of onboard memory.
They're also all touchscreen with 800 by 480 pixel resolution. You mentioned the camera, they can record HD video footage. So yeah, very sort of similar in certain aspects.
Some of them broke the mold slightly though, because there was the 8 megapixel camera and xenon flash on the Mozart.
That's right, yeah. We've seen minimum 5 megapixels, but yeah, the Mozart's gone up to 8, and it's the xenon flash that's particularly interesting, much rarer in the mobile phone sphere, and so it's quite good to see one.
I've got with me here the HTC HD7, and this one stood out from the crowd a bit because it's larger screen, 4.3 inches, and of course its kickstand.
Yeah, so that's the biggest touchscreen we saw. The smallest was the Mozart that had 3.8 inches, so still pretty big.
Okay, battery power, it was different as well. I know this one with its largest 4.3 inch screen actually came with the lowest battery spec at 1230 milliamp hours.
Yeah, that's a bit of a surprise really. I mean, I can't say definitely that will mean it's got the shortest battery life or shortest talk time. We'll test these things in our lab, but it was a bit of a surprise. So the LG Optimus 7 and the Samsung Omnia 7, they've both got 1500 milliamp hour batteries, so we'd expect longer battery life with those.
And their internal memory differs slightly as well, and it was 8 gigabytes across the board, but then 16 on the LG and the HD7?
Yeah, that's right. It's quite interesting though that none of these phones had expandable memory, none of them have memory card slots, and you know, for a lot of people 8 gigs or 16 gigs will be plenty, but there will be people who will want to put like lots of videos, lots of content on their phone, and you can't expand it, and that's a bit of a shame because memory cards are really quite cheap these days and it's quite an easy way to boost your memory.
Okay, onto the OS. What do you think of Windows Phone 7?
Well, I've had a week now to play with it, and the first thing to say is it is a huge improvement obviously on the old Microsoft system. I'm still getting to grips with it a bit, I have to admit. I mean, I use an Android phone, I'm very familiar with iPhones, and I found both of those very intuitive, very easy to start operating. I've never looked at a manual, for example. I'm finding this a little bit different, because it is very different to things we've seen before, and so I'm not always sure whether to swipe left and right or go up and down. So it's very responsive and it looks great, but maybe with a few more days practice I'll pick it up.
I really liked it. I think it's really intuitive and really logically laid out. All the hubs look great, so the People's Hub is all your contacts and all their information, and I think it does work.
I do like the live tiles. I think that's a great idea that you have live information on the phone, so you know you don't actually have to dive into the menus to get your information. I find the formatting a bit weird. I'm used to phone displays having everything really neatly laid out, and this sort of the words overlap onto the next page and you just get sections of words. It's almost as if you're looking at a big piece of paper from above and you're getting a little section of it. It's a bit strange.
Yeah, but you were saying this earlier, but I like that. I mean, it is almost as though you've got this little window on a bigger piece of paper which you're sliding around, or better still, the paper's sliding around beneath it.
I think it's just another difference, isn't it? It's like, this really is quite a different operating system.
Okay, so if you were pushed to pick one handset, what would you go for?
Well, it is difficult. Possibly the LG. The LG's got the biggest battery, it's got the biggest memory size, and the screen at 3.8 inches feels just quite a nice size. Overall as a package it works well. It's also nicely priced, I think. £30 with Vodafone at launch on a 2-year deal is it's a mid-range price, but for a good product.
I'm not going to go out and buy any of these though until you've written the full reviews once you've had them through the lab.
Well, hopefully we'll have those results online in November, so